Cougars really set out to become the king of budget premium, and the Puri TKL is a really good example of that. Good afternoon and welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. My name is Reese of the 4-piece variety or Wookie Triple XL, and I've got a Cougar Puri TKL, my favorite layout, to be honest. I really do like TKL. I got a 70% only, or 75%. Now I'm kind of like, maybe TKL would have been better. I really do like TKL. I think it's the best size. You get all of the page up, page down function sets, like less numpad. Numpad is really good, obviously, if you're in Excel. Everybody that's doing Excel or doing anything with mathematical inputs is really going to enjoy having a numpad attached to the keyboard. But for those of us who are just gaming, who want to get a little bit closer and have a little bit more space for our mouse, TKL makes a lot of sense. And this is really the cheapest at this price point, or the best at this price point for the feature set that you're getting. This is the cheapest mechanical keyboard with this feature set that I can see on the Evetech store at the moment. So I thought, let me do a review on that, because I do review a lot of high-end stuff, like 3,000 Rand keyboards, but not everybody's got 3,000 Rand to spend on a keyboard. This is much more handsome at 1,300 Rand, much more reasonable. And it's got some pretty cool premium feature sets, really nice switches, and well, let's start off with the dust cover, because that's one of the, like why I say budget premium. I don't know of another keyboard that actually does this. And it's something simple, little add-on that is gonna keep your keyboard clean over time, especially in South Africa. If you watch my videos a lot, you'll notice sometimes, especially when we had a bit of a dry spell, you could literally see the dust settling on the video. And it's near impossible for me to really combat that, right? There's almost nothing I can do to keep that dust out of the video. As much as I try, there's nothing I can do. But I can just keep the dust out of my keyboard by putting a magnetic attachment onto it. Pretty magnetic, really nicely finished. I love the like, what's a sandblasted type? Words. You'd swear I spoke words for a living. The matte finish. There we go. The sandblasting and stuff with the Cougar logo across. It just finishes it off so nicely, doesn't it? But that's just the cover. That's not a keyboard. That's not going to do what a keyboard can do. So this is the TKL layout. Funnily enough, this over here is actually material. Just going to break the seal on that quickly. This is material over here for the Cougar, and it feels great. It's like really silky and it's nice. So that was kind of cool. Normally they do like aluminium plate. They decided to do this from material. I can't help but feel over time that it's going to get dirty, just having the moment, right, to the idea or realization thereof, but it is nicely finished. But before we get too carried away, let's go back to basics and speak about the keyboard. So TKL layout, it is a full plastic shell with some aluminium screws and stuff on the top that then this can magnetically attach to. So that's how it's going to stay attached like that. It's got a default incline of about 7 degrees. I'll double check the exact amounts for that, but it's got a pretty decent default incline on the base setup. But it's got two. It's got double kickstand setup on the bottom, full rubberized as well on both. So not just the inside or the outside set has rubberizing, but both have rubberizing on. Nicely done, Cougar. Cable channeling as well in the back while we're here. It's really nice. It can come out either side of the keyboard or straight out the middle. The only thing that is a little bit weird is the cable that they've chosen to connect this with. They're still using a micro USB. This is the second time I've seen this in the last month, or a mini USB at least. It's weird for me because it's a super old connector. Micro's been around for ages, and now everybody else is moving to Type-C. So to get a replacement cable for this, it's not going to be that easy, in all honesty. These are going to become quite scarce, I would say, in the near future. Well, it depends how long China decides to use them for. The detachable cable is nicely braided. It's also got a nice little Velcro strappy on it, so you can channel your other cables with the keyboard cable, which always looks nice when it's all channeled like that behind the desk. So if you've got one on your mouse and one on your keyboard, then you can split them along the line and then have it all nicely channeled together. So it just will make it look that much nicer. The keys and switches are completely in-house by Cougar. The only real complaint I have for the physical setup of this keyboard is actually the keycaps. Their switch is super good. It's a Cougar switch. It's even got a little Cougar embossed on it there, and it's really, really smooth, really, really nice and linear. It's got a really nice feel to it, I have to say. The only complaint I have physically about this is their choice of keycaps. While the font and everything is great and the shine through from the back is very, very strong from the LED, very, very strong indeed, it's going to wear out quite quickly. Even out of the box, on some of the arrow keys over here, I could see scratches that were already right through to the actual, like right through the paint on it. These are painted keycaps. They're not actually cast from a black plastic with a clear see-through. It's a clear plastic that then is painted on top. And obviously that means it's going to wear out over time. Now these are also north-facing LEDs. So if you want to get a keycap set for it, you'd have to consider that because your middle row is never going to line up properly because of the orientation of the key. It's a bit of a detractor from its longevity or replacing parts on it. But the switch itself, I have to say, is very good, and I do see it having quite a long lifetime. It's absolutely no necessary friction. The feedback from it is fantastic, and your ability to spam keys for things like Dota, RTS, and other MOBAs is going to be really, really good with this. The other thing Cougar's done is they've removed the need for software. They've put all of the function sets onto the keyboard, so including its own variants for lighting effects, etc. You do all of that on the keyboard. Cooler Master used to do this quite a lot as well, and it's nice to have that movement away from software in a way, but it does mean that your per key backlighting assignments, etc. just aren't available. But with the keyboard at this price point, I don't think it's really a miss to not have that. What would have been nice for software though is to be able to do some macros. I can show you, I know there's going to be a couple people out there that want to be able to bind a couple of actions to a single key, and then you'd have to use a third-party software in order to do that. It's not going to be accessible on the keyboard itself. But the media key functionality and stuff is very comprehensive. They've gone with a huge assortment of function key sets are additive to the ones that exist on the keyboard. As far as using the keyboard goes, I did find the stabilizers to be quite noisy. You can hear the two there that don't have stabilizers on the larger keys. They sound great. Even the bottom out sound is pretty good on this. There's not a lot of key shake as well because of how linear they've got that switch. The switch itself is by far the best thing you're getting into here as well, along with that backlighting. It's very, very well backlit. The nice kickstands and stuff with the double ruberizing, 3 different options there to get yourself comfortable. It is quite a nice, like, sort of customized experience. And then having the dust cover on top of that, just to keep it clean and functioning nicely. It's really, really nice touches. I think in the price range, it's really only got one competitor that I can think of the top of my head, and it's actually a full-size keyboard. It's not a TKL. So this is very competitive in the price bracket. I would like to see some double shot PBT caps on this from Cougar, especially because you've got a north-facing LED. It's really hard to get key sets for it. That would be the one upgrade I would do, and then just add a little bit of lubrication to the stabilizers. After that, you've got a very, very, very well priced mechanical keyboard over here, Cougar. Anywho, that is all I have for you guys in this review. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit us up with a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the flip side. Good afternoon, morning, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech.